Welcome back to Joey Movie Clips. Today, I will show you in comedy, drama film from 2012, titled The Untouchables. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. One night in Paris, Driss finds himself behind the wheel, chauffeuring his employer Philippe through the bustling city streets. Growing tired of the slow-moving traffic, Driss decides to break the speed limit, maneuvering through the cars with fearless abandon and disregarding traffic signs. The thrill-seeking escapade catches the attention of the police, who promptly give chase. Undeterred, Driss places a bet of €100 on his ability to evade capture. However, the police cleverly ambush them from both sides after they pass under a bridge, foiling Driss's plan. Surprisingly, Driss remains calm and undeterred, this time betting €200 on his ability to secure them an escort. Forced to step out of the car, Driss puts on an act, feigning offense and claiming that Philippe is in need of urgent hospital care. He convinces the officers that he was rushing Philippe to the hospital, and his case gains credibility when they discover a wheelchair in the truck. To further sell the ruse, Philippe pretends to convulse, adding another layer of authenticity. Impressed by the apparent emergency situation, the compassionate officers forgive Driss for his transgressions and offer to escort them to the hospital. Overjoyed by his victorious bet, Driss celebrates by playing September by Earth, Wind, and Fire as they make their way to their destination. Once they arrive and the escorts depart, Driss and Philippe share a smoke, reveling in their successful escapade before sneaking away before the hospital staff can find them. This unique friendship between Driss and Philippe began several months earlier. Philippe, together with his assistant Magali, has been conducting interviews in search of a new caretaker for himself. Unfortunately, the interviews have been disappointing, with candidates providing either generic or awkward answers to their questions. However, their outlook changes when Driss bursts into the room, disregarding the proper order of the interviews. Driss only seeks to have some papers signed, stating that they will not hire him, so he can receive unemployment benefits. He adopts a straightforward and slightly rude manner, even attempting to flirt with Magali. Surprisingly, Philippe finds Driss's demeanor amusing and invites him to return the next day to collect his signed documents. Driss returns to his modest home in a humble neighborhood, where he attempts to take a bath amidst the chaos caused by his younger siblings. Fortunately, his sister Mina, who is older and more responsible, comes to his aid, ensuring that he can complete his bath in time. As they wait for their mother to arrive, Driss observes his brother Adama getting out of a suspicious car. When questioned, Adama simply states that he was at school and quickly leaves again, grabbing his bag. Driss becomes increasingly suspicious of his brother's activities. In the evening, Driss's mother arrives and presents him with a stolen Faberge egg, claiming that she was away on vacation when questioned about her absence. However, she is displeased and dismisses Driss, as he had disappeared for 6 months without any communication. She chastises him, stating that their home is not a hotel, especially considering her responsibilities to his siblings. Frustrated and without a place to go, Driss spends the night enjoying a smoke and snacks with friends from the neighborhood. The following day, Driss returns to Philippe's house to collect his papers, where he is greeted by Yvonne, the housekeeper. Yvonne takes him on a tour of the house, acquainting him with Philippe's daily routine and showing him the room that would be his, complete with a private bathroom. Driss finds himself drawn to the bathtub, but Yvonne pulls him away to meet Philippe. Philippe hands Driss the signed papers, but also surprises him with a job offer. Eager to prove himself, Driss accepts the 1-month trial, and Philippe places a bet, doubting that Driss will last more than 2 weeks. After settling into his new room, Driss begins learning how to care for Philippe, including stimulating his legs, assisting with his wheelchair, and helping with showering and changing. Although some tasks, such as putting on stockings or cleaning Philippe's backside, initially make Driss hesitant, he reluctantly accepts them as part of his job. As time goes on, Driss becomes more comfortable with Philippe's daily routine. Although he makes a few initial mistakes, he learns from them, such as mistakenly handing Philippe the phone instead of placing it near his ear or forgetting the baby monitor while bathing. Driss also becomes familiar with organizing Philippe's mail, opening most letters for his employer but refraining from reading a series of private ones. When he comes across a flyer advertising female escorts, Driss decides to create a separate file for them instead of discarding the materials as instructed by Philippe. Despite the demands of his new life, Driss still manages to find enjoyment. He persistently flirts with Magali, with little success, and occasionally indulges in calling escorts to join him in bed. One morning, Yvonne discovers dangerous weapons in Driss's bag while scolding him for being late. However, she chooses not to comment on them at that moment. Driss's task for the day is to drive Philippe around, but he refuses to treat him like cargo by placing him in the back of a van. Instead, he opts for one of the seldom used luxury cars. Philippe initially believes this to be unsuitable, advocating for practicality. However, his excitement quickly grows as he savors the idea of a faster and more exciting ride, much to Yvonne's disapproval. As they prepare to depart from the building, they encounter a neighbor who has illegally parked at their entrance, ignorant of the forbidden parking sign. Driss promptly confronts and intimidates the neighbor, ensuring that he moves the car. Philippe is impressed by Driss's assertiveness, while Yvonne continues to disapprove. On another occasion, they visit a museum where Philippe plans to purchase what Driss perceives to be a lackluster piece of artwork, simply a red blotch on a canvas. Later, Philippe meets with a relative who expresses concern about Driss's potential for violence. Philippe, however, values Driss precisely for his lack of pity and their ability to engage in playful banter. During dinner with Yvonne, Philippe dictates a letter to Magali, claiming it to be a private conversation. Yvonne turns off the baby monitor, providing Driss with an opportunity to chat openly with her. She reveals that Philippe has been corresponding with a woman named Eleanor through letters, unable to meet in person. Driss teasingly mentions the gardener's interest in Yvonne before retiring for the night, but not before hearing strange sounds through the baby monitor. He discovers Philippe experiencing difficulty breathing and rushes to his aid, offering comfort and support. Their bond continues to strengthen as the days pass. Driss takes Philippe out to play in the snow, and even brings him along for his own exercise runs. Philippe gifts Driss his first suit and reprimands his daughter Elisa with Driss eavesdropping through the baby monitor. Driss also finishes his first painting and proudly shows it to Magali, only to be met with a slap when he attempts to kiss her. However, Philippe recognizes the value in Driss's artwork and vows to help sell it. Philippe's birthday arrives, and he is less than enthused. Year after year, he pretends to be surprised by the party thrown in his honor, enduring the presence of relatives who visit solely to confirm his well-being. Philippe expresses his expectation of a dull affair. However, during the festivities, Driss finds Elisa in tears in her room, having consumed some pills belonging to Yvonne, which were meant to harm her but only resulted in disappointment. Elisa shares her heartbreak at being dumped by Bastien, who referred to her as a tart. She implores Driss to speak to Bastien, who accepts the task in exchange for a favor. In the meantime, Philippe showcases Driss's painting to a relative, who becomes interested and buys it for 11,000 euros. Driss rejoins the party, engaging in conversation with Yvonne, who updates him on Magali's relationship troubles with someone named Fred. Driss is momentarily hopeful until he discovers that Fred is short for Frederic, and Magali is not interested in men. Disheartened, Driss discards the escort file but keeps one photo hidden away for himself. As the party wind downs, Philippe insists that Driss listen to some significant classical music pieces. However, Driss can only respond with jokes, failing to grasp the emotional significance of the compositions. After the band finishes playing, Philippe retrieves his iPod and dances enthusiastically to Boogie Wonderland by Earth, Wind, and Fire. He entices the other guests to join him, and the room is filled with joyous dancing. Later that evening, as Driss assists Philippe in getting ready for bed, he opens Eleanor's latest letter. Eleanor has sent her picture, revealing her attractive appearance, and suggests meeting when she visits Paris next week. The day of their planned meeting arrives, and Yvonne and Philippe eagerly await Eleanor's arrival at a restaurant. However, Eleanor is significantly late, and Philippe ultimately gives up, instructing Driss to take him away. Unbeknownst to Philippe, Eleanor arrives at the restaurant just as he leaves. In a bid to lift Philippe's spirits, Driss takes him on a plane ride and presents him with the money earned from selling the painting, bringing him great joy. The following morning, they venture into the countryside, where Philippe indulges in his love for paragliding, coaxing a hesitant Driss into joining him. Although initially fearful, Driss ultimately finds delight in the experience. Upon returning home, Driss discovers Adama waiting for him, prompting a scolding due to the scars on his face. Although Adama remains tight-lipped about his own life, Driss insists that his brother wait in his room while he makes a call to Mina, reassuring her and addressing concerns. He then proceeds to put Philippe to bed, engaging in conversation. Philippe asks Driss about his family, a topic initially avoided but eventually shared. Driss reveals that Adama is not his biological brother, and his supposed parents are actually his aunt and uncle. He explains that they brought him from Senegal when he was 8 years old because they couldn't have biological children. His real name is Bakary Baysari, but they called him Idris and eventually Driss. Philippe notes the need for discipline in Adama, much like his approach with Elisa. The following morning, Driss prepares to leave, packing his bags. Before he departs, he says his farewells to Magali, who introduces him to her partner Fred, eliminating any romantic possibilities. Driss bids Magali farewell, jokingly referencing Yvonne's teasing. In return, Yvonne hands Driss the escort file he had begun, containing the photo he had chosen, causing him some disappointment. Driss discards the file but keeps the hidden photo for himself. On his way out, Driss encounters a car blocking the entrance and asks the driver to move, emphasizing that he may no longer work there. Adama chastises Driss for his action, but Driss justifies it as a matter of principle. A few hours later, the brothers pick up their mother from the station. Meanwhile, back at the house, Philippe has dinner with his new caretaker, who proves to be dull and unappetizing. Taking advantage of Yvonne's absence on a date with the gardener, Philippe leaves the table without having taken a bite, causing neither heeds his departure. In the days that follow, Driss resumes his previous lifestyle, reconnecting with old friends and warning the individuals associated with the suspicious car to leave Adama alone. He attends an interview where he lacks sufficient experience but impresses the employer with his claims of pragmatism and art knowledge acquired while working for Philippe, ultimately securing a job as a driver. Philippe, dissatisfied with his new caretaker, remains perpetually irritable. One night, when he refuses the assistance of anyone in the house to aid with his phantom pain, Yvonne contacts Driss, imploring him to come to their aid. This leads to their chase by the police, the subsequent escort to the hospital, and their final victory. Following this thrilling adventure, Driss drives Philippe to the coast, where the serene side of the sea helps calm Philippe's mood. Sometime later, Driss helps Philippe groom his overgrown beard before leaving him for a lunch date, confident that someone else will keep him company. Driss presents Philippe with the stolen Faberge egg, a significant gift that Philippe received from his late wife each year of their marriage, symbolizing their years together. Philippe is momentarily concerned about being alone until he discovers that the person joining him is Eleanor, who is delighted to meet him and does not mind his wheelchair. In reality, Count Philippe Pozo di Borgo now resides in Morocco, having remarried and having 2 daughters. The real Driss, named Abdul Yasmin Selou, manages his own firm and is also married with 3 children. Nevertheless, the bond between the two men remains strong to this day.